what do I live in this castle? How am I going to afford Deutsche Bahn tickets? It's just not going to happen. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu ULM X. Sorry, I forgot that the intro of the video should be in English, because the whole video is going to be in English. We're in Augsburg right now. We're in Göttingen, as you just heard, riding the Straßenbahn. This is only like the second time I've ever ridden the Straßenbahn, because the one in Ulm, Straßenbahn means tram, by the way. Augsburg has a much better Straßenbahn system than Ulm. And I don't know what to say, it's just exciting. You're on a train, but you're on the road. Hallo und herzlich willkommen. English. Hi and welcome back to ULMX. This episode of Life in Germany is about public transportation. Today we're in Augsburg. Right now we're on Königsplatz, and we just rode on the tram, which is always a pleasure. It's like riding in Disney World. I don't know, it's pretty much all there is to it. Kind of like Disneyland though. The only time I ever rode one in the United States was Disneyland. The monorail tram.
Slower.
Is it slower? Oh, it's slower in Disneyland. This is even better.
Yeah.
So as you can hear, cars driving on cobblestones is really loud. But what they do with the Straßenbahn is they actually put the train tracks right in between the cobblestones. And because they run on electricity, they're nice and quiet. Not to mention environmentally friendly. The only thing is you get the downside of wires overhead everywhere you look. You'll probably be able to hear as this Straßenbahn takes off. It's really, really quiet. The engine is really quiet because it's not like a diesel motor, and yeah, the engine's actually off every time they stop. So I'm right next to a stopped one right now, and yeah, it's quiet. It's really quiet. And so the prices, you see this? The prices are like, I don't know, $4.50 a day or something. We got 2 people, $9 for a day ticket. You can ride them around in Innenstadt, in the city center, for like as many times as you want in that day. And it's a lot cheaper than like Deutsche Bahn. If you can hear this, it's like pretty quiet, pretty good. Deutsche Bahn would be like 100 to go back and forth from Ulm to Munich for the day. Like, I mean, it's just insane. But the thing is with these, this is run by Stadtwerke Augsburg, which is like the city works or public works. And all I know is in Ulm, they lose a lot of money. Like, it's a business meant to just lose money. And that's why they're part of like the Stadtwerke. The Stadtwerke have other sources of income, like they sell electricity or other services like internet or whatever. And those services make up the difference so that they can offer like pretty reasonable prices for public transportation. But it's really nice and quiet because of the electric motors. Wires overhead everywhere you look. But it's really easy to tune out.
You remind me of Kino Body.
And you know what? Kino Body's successful as all hell. It's more like one of the amusement park rides, like the Yankee Cannonball or the Corkscrew. Those are essentially just trains with convertible roofs. Typically European and Australian, which is pretty much just Europe. So we drove from Ulm to Augsburg on the Autobahn, and it's like way more stressful than riding the train. You just get to chill out. Although there were some pretty loud kids on the train there at the end. That was not the same vibe as when it's nice and quiet on the train full of old people who are just chilling. But you don't have to like steer. You don't have to worry about traffic. It's a pretty good thing. It would be good if you could get a cheap ride between cities, but it's extremely expensive. I find it way more expensive. We don't have a particularly fuel efficient vehicle, and it's still like way more expensive than driving ourselves, especially when you get 2 people. So like I said, it's like 100 maybe for one day, for like 48 for one way from Ulm to Munich, and then you have to go back, and then for 2 people it's like what do I live in this castle? How am I going to afford Deutsche Bahn tickets? It's just not going to happen. But for me, instead of driving in public transportation, I would always just go with the bike anyway. So yeah, doesn't really change much in my personal lifestyle in Germany, but when we come to Augsburg for a day, it's like pretty cool to do it because obviously you're not going to bring your bike, and I don't know my way around the city anyway, so it's like this little like transport portal. It's like a little gateway from one side of the city to the other. You just have to pay attention to the stops. It's good for the environment. It's relatively affordable.
Yeah.
How long? How much would it cost if you were driving on that every day, though? That might be included if you enroll in university. Augsburg has a pretty big university. It's like 20,000 university students or something. In Ulm, there's like a 10,000 student university. I don't know what their deal is if they get like a free Straßenbahn tram ticket. They just built a new line in Ulm that goes up to the university. But if you were to be like a working professional, I think you'd be paying like 60 a month. It'd be like $5 a day. That can't be. We should pay like $4.50 for the two of us. Ulm's a bit expensive. No one really knows why, because they have a tiny network. In Augsburg, they have a pretty big network of different lines. It's pretty dope. No one's too satisfied with Ulm's Straßenbahn. They're also smaller cars. You're more crammed in there.
And expensive as hell.
And it's just more expensive for no reason, really. Pretty cool building.
Anything else? Say ciao bella.
Ciao, bella.
Did it switch to video somehow?
When you hit the red button, it switches to video.
Oh yeah, no.
Is it red blinking?
Yeah.
dot?
Yes.
So the difference between the United States and Germany in this regard is blah, 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 blah. How's that look?
It's good.
How's it sound? It's a good start.
Mm-hmm. Maybe without the backpack.
I like that. It's good vision.
Okay.
Dieses Video wurde stolz präsentiert von der ULM-X-App, verfügbar im App Store für iOS-Geräte. Android-Benutzer und diejenigen, die das Spiel ausprobieren möchten, können den kostenlosen Podcast auf iTunes und Spotify herunterladen. Bitte beim Podcast nicht vergessen, den Pausenknopf zu drücken. Die App pausiert übrigens automatisch für dich, damit du gleichzeitig anderswo produktiv sein kannst.
Diese Folge ist perfekt geeignet fürs erste Treffen mit einem neuen Kollegen. This episode is perfectly suited for your first meeting with a new colleague. Englisch für Guten Tag, Herr Professor. Ich bin der neue Student aus Deutschland ist Good afternoon, Professor. I'm the new student from Germany. Guten Tag, Herr Professor. Ich bin der neue Student aus Deutschland.
Good afternoon, Professor. I'm the new student from Germany.
Good afternoon, Professor. I'm the new student from Germany.
Entschuldigung.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Entschuldigung.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Guten Tag, Herr Professor. Ich bin der neue Student aus Deutschland.
Good afternoon, Professor. I'm the new student from Germany.
Good afternoon, Professor. I'm the new student from Germany.
Englisch für Störe ich ist Am I interrupting? Störe ich?
Am I interrupting?
Am I interrupting?
Entschuldigung, störe ich?
Excuse me. Am I interrupting?
Excuse me. Am I interrupting?
Ich wollte nicht stören.
I didn't want to interrupt.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Entschuldigung, störe ich?
Excuse me. Am I interrupting?
Excuse me. Am I interrupting?